Good morning. Welcome to a premium public video forecast discussion for Friday, September 22nd, 2023. We have a lot to talk about as we have a very impressive coastal storm that will take on some tropical characteristics as we move on through this weekend. So what I want to do is kind of remove the fear of tropical. When someone says tropical, I tend to experience that a lot of the public gets very concerned and very amped up. And look, any type of storm, you should always be prepared. You should always be aware of the evolution. But let's take out the scary words and let's really explain what is happening here in the atmosphere and what is tropical, subtropical, and extratropical. So let's dive into this. So currently, right now, we have pleasant weather conditions. We have winds from the northeast around 5 to 15 miles per hour. You can see the winds are starting to increase as the pressure gradient increases. Temperatures range from the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s in your suburbs, mid to upper 50s in your urban areas, a few lower 60s right along the immediate coast as some of that warmer air from the ocean starting to push in as we start to get more and more of that tropical influence. Now, when we take a look at our surface map and radar here, there is our storm. A couple features to note here. It has not picked up to the point of reaching tropical or subtropical characteristics, but there are signs to it. So right now we have this warm front here with this low pressure system starting to organize, a series of troughs here, high pressure here over Maine that is going to be locking in over northern New England. That's going to set up the pressure gradient between this low and this high. Now for today, it's going to be absolutely beautiful with high pressure in control. You're going to notice clouds slowly increasing, but overall a pleasant day is expected. So this is our potential tropical cyclone. Okay, it's called PTC 16. What that basically means is that this is actually a response to what happened with Sandy, where there was a lot of uncertainty of what to expect with the storm, and we really didn't have a designation. So we created a PTC, or at least the National Hurricane Center did, where it just says potential tropical cyclone. It could rapidly develop. There isn't going to be a lot of time for warning for it. So we're going to put out this advisory so that way you know something's bubbling out there in the Atlantic. Well, this is a perfect example of that. Right now, it is an extratropical low pressure system that is taking on tropical characteristics. What does that mean? Well, what we're starting to see on a satellite picture is here is our center of circulation here, our low-level circulation. It's still a little bit disorganized and has a frontal structure here, but it's starting to produce a lot of convection. Okay, a lot of thunderstorms right around the low-level center. And it's moving right over the Gulf Stream, which is a very warm body of water. And so it's starting to pick up some organization of what we call a warm core low. That's where a low pressure system features the warmest temperatures towards the center of the storm, and you have your strongest winds and heaviest rain located around that center. Now, when you have a subtropical storm, you basically have features both of extratropical and tropical. So you have some features where you have this core of very heavy rainfall, very strong winds, but you also have an expansive wind field associated with this area of precipitation and cloud cover and lifting here. Now remember, the stronger the lifting, the colder the cloud top, because the cloud top goes higher in the atmosphere. So that's why we're seeing all this explosion of very cold cloud tops developing around this low-level circulation. And so that's why we have this advisory here where there's a designation for a storm, tropical or subtropical, lifting up towards North Carolina. So what does that look like on the models? Well, this is essentially what we're talking about when we talk about a warm core. You see this little spot right here? This little area right here is an area of warmer temperatures. And so what you have at 850 millibars is this ball of very warm temperatures surrounded by cooler temperatures. So this is a perfect example of a warm core low surrounded by a cold core or extratropical environment. So your extratropical environment is this cold air and dry air trying to wrap in behind the storm. And then you have the storm here, the warm core kind of insulated from all this and kind of doing its thing where it's creating strong lifting around that low, around that core, and producing very strong winds right around this core. While that's all evolving here, the extratropical features, like this cooler air, maritime air wrapping in behind this tropical air here, is also unfolding. So what does that look like in the upper levels? Well, in the upper levels at 250 millibars, this is a clear sign of an extratropical environment. Okay, you have a very strong jet streak here. Notice how the winds are moving very quickly here. This is a sign of very fast diffluence. All right, so that means air is rapidly leaving. So if you have air rapidly leaving, the atmosphere is always at balance. So then you're going to start to produce strong lifting in this area right here, and we're starting to see that play out. In the meantime, we have this nice upper level low starting to cut off at 250 millibars in the subtropical jet stream. And here's our polar jet stream here. And this feature here is what pulls this storm northward and basically prevents it from exiting out in the Atlantic. So it's going to pull it northward and then start to merge and phase with it, while this ridge out here blocks everything and prevents everything from moving out very quickly. So that's how we get to the storm feature. Now, by the time we get to 850 millibars, now we see a little bit different structure here. The 850 millibar low is consolidating. It's featuring this little jet streak right here, and it's featuring some signs of warm core structure here, where if we put on the temperature here, you can see the warmest temperatures wrapping in around us, right? You can see it all building. Whereas an extratropical storm, you'd have the cold air wrapping in behind it and you would get this clash, but you don't see that yet. Instead, you see this warm core seclusion starting to develop. And while this storm's developing, we're going to watch this feature right here lift northward as a strong 850 millibar jet streak. Think of it basically like a fire hose taking moisture from the Atlantic and slamming it right into the Jersey Shore. So whether you're talking about a nor'easter or you're talking about a tropical system, they're both featuring the same type of driving factors for this weather event. And so even if it picks up tropical characteristics, which is highly likely but hasn't happened yet, then the impacts for us really don't change, because it's still the same storm evolution of a fall nor'easter. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't going to be the last one, that is for sure, as this is kind of typical of El Nino years with coastal storms along the East Coast. On the water vapor satellite picture, you can see the whole structure setting up. There's our warm core starting to organize here. Here's the extratropical environment around it, the structure around it. So again, the extratropical low and structure sets up over the warm core low, which is developing here. So extratropical structure, warm core structure. So as this evolves and lifts northward, what will happen, we'll go back to 850 millibars. That warm core will lift northward. There it is, very clear, right? But here's your extratropical influence as well, with this dry air trying to wrap in behind it. As the storm lifts northward, it will lose that tropical structure, that warm core structure, and you'll end up more driven by isotropic lifting and by the baroclimatic evolution of the storm, which basically means a clash between the cooler marine air mass and polar air mass trying to come in with the tropical air mass. And so you see that playing out very clearly here as the storm lifts northward and towards the New Jersey coast. Now understand, just because it goes from tropical or subtropical to extratropical or post-tropical doesn't make the storm any weaker. It just changes the structure of the storm. And if a storm goes from extratropical to tropical, it doesn't make the storm necessarily stronger. It just changes the structure of the storm, the way that it's put together. Okay, so that is basically what we're seeing here, is that just simply a change in the structure of the storm, but the impacts remain the same. So when we take a look at the wind forecast here, this feature right here is what we're going to be watching march up the coast tonight through tomorrow, producing very heavy rainfall. And then the storm lifts northward, and as it becomes extratropical, it starts to become what we call vertically stacked. And when a storm becomes vertically stacked and it's cold core or extratropical, then it starts to weaken. So it reaches its peak to the south of us and then starts to weaken while lingering over us. At 500 millibars, let me just show this. There is our upper level low. This is our vertical velocity. So this is showing very strong lifting, rising air over the region. And then as the low lingers over us, it weakens, and so that lifting weakens, and that leads to widespread rainfall giving way to scattered showers on Sunday, still capable of heavy downpours, and then lingering showers on Monday and Tuesday because this trough just kind of lingers over the region. Now, there's a chance that this ridge could end up being a little bit stronger and push cool, dry air into our neck of the woods, especially over the northern interior. But for right now, I'm keeping pesky showers in the forecast. Not a washout on Monday and Tuesday, but still a bit of a pest. And then that trough produces another beginning upper level low in the subtropical jet stream. Forces another upper level low to still organize, and yeah, possibly another coastal storm for next weekend. So definitely an active pattern. So this is what we could expect with this storm. I have zone 1, 2, and 3. Zone 1, where I'm expecting 1 to 2 inches of rain, winds from the northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour tomorrow, gusting at times over 25 miles per hour. Start time from 6 a.m. tomorrow and lingering on through 10 p.m. Sunday. That is the heavy rainfall and heavy downpours at times. In zone 2, again, waves of rainfall 4 a.m. tomorrow through 10 p.m. Sunday. Winds from the northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusts over 30 miles per hour. Rainfall a little bit heavier, 2 to 4 inches of rain possible, and some minor coastal flooding up to 1 foot. Power outages are a threat. Flash flooding is a threat. Then zone 3, same amount of rainfall. Winds are going to be stronger at 15 to 30 miles per hour because you're right along the coast, and I would watch out for wind gusts over 40 miles per hour right on the immediate coast. Start time from 2 a.m. tonight through 10 p.m. Sunday. And again, coastal flooding is going to be a little bit stronger, 1 to 3 feet, at 1 foot more towards like Long Island and Rhode Island and Connecticut, but 3 feet, I would not be surprised along the Jersey Shore down through the Delmarva. Power outages will be a threat, and flash flooding will be a threat. So, let's dive into the rest of this forecast. For today, look for scattered cloud cover, increasing cloud cover throughout the day, with winds coming from the northeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour, increasing to 10 to 20 miles per hour. Look for high temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior, lower to mid 70s along the coast. For tonight through tomorrow morning, look for rain developing, becoming heavy at times towards daybreak. Look for low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 50s over the northern interior, upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast. We discussed the impacts. It's going to be a raw, ugly, rainy day. Again, there's our extratropical environment with the rain expanding northward, and this is driven by the 850 millibar jet. This is the tropical core. And notice as it lifts northward, it's going to start to break down. Now, temperatures for tomorrow afternoon will range from the lower to mid 60s throughout the region. Again, watch out for flash flooding, wind damage, power outages. You get the idea. On Sunday, the low weakens, and so the precipitation shield becomes more scattered, but still capable of heavy downpours. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 40s over the far northern interior, lower to mid 50s in your suburbs, mid to upper 50s along the coast in your urban areas. High temperatures will range from the upper 50s to lower 60s over the northern interior, mid to upper 60s along the coast. On Sunday, again, those scattered showers are going to be more widespread, and it's not going to be the best day for outdoor activities. On Monday, that trough lingers around the region. Look for scattered showers, not a washout, but certainly a kind of a raw day out there. Look for low temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. High temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. On Tuesday, again, the trough lingers around the region. Look for scattered cloud cover. I want more isolated showers as the lifting really starts to fall apart here, and we're going to see more of a lifting shifting towards the Ohio River Valley with that developing upper level low. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. High temperatures range from the mid to upper 60s. On Wednesday, high pressure builds south with clearing skies and much nicer weather. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. High temperatures range from the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior, upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast. On Thursday, high pressure remains in control with clear skies to sky cloud cover. Look for low temperatures in the mid to upper 40s over the northern interior, upper 40s to lower 50s along the coast. High temperatures range from the mid to upper 60s over the northern interior, upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast. And on Friday, high pressure remains in control, but look for increasing cloud cover. I'm going to hold off the rain for just a little bit longer on Friday with increasing cloud cover and keeping the drier conditions just south of the Delmarva Peninsula based on what I'm seeing on a variety of model guidance. But we're going to have to watch the evolution of this storm on Friday evening. Look for low temperatures in the mid to upper 40s over the interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast, high temperatures in the lower to mid 70s over the northern interior, mid to upper 70s in the Delaware River Valley, and lower to mid 70s along the coast. And then we'll watch our coastal storm organize for Friday night into Saturday morning. That is your discussion for today. I hope you enjoy your premium public video discussion and learned a lot about this storm. My big suggestion for you is make sure that you are prepared, have canned goods, have your flashlights and batteries set up, and as always, stay safe out there.